Thursday, May 22nd. A quick recap of Kid Cudi's testimony. I know a lot of people were waiting to see what he had to say, myself included. But when I saw the picture of him outside the courtroom, smoking a cigarette with a leather jacket, somebody holding his umbrella, something told me it wasn't going to go the way that I originally thought it was going to go. So Kid Cudi, government name Scott Miss Cudi, is a musician and an actor, and he dated Cassie back in 2011. He said he had known Cassie for a while before they started dating, and it was his understanding that her and Diddy were no longer together. He said one morning in 2011, he got a very scared call from Cassie saying that Diddy had found out about them dating, and he was confused on why there was an issue. He picked up Cassie and they went to a hotel room. A phone call with one of Diddy's employees, Capricorn Clark, who told them that she was sitting outside of Kid Cudi's house and that Diddy wanted to have a conversation with him. When he arrived home, he noticed that some things had been moved around in his house. His dog had been shut up in the bathroom, and that's not the way he left it. It was some things missing, some things rearranged, so it was obvious that somebody had been in his home, but Diddy was not there when he got there. So ultimately he decided to call the police and report it as a break-in. They did not have a conversation that evening. He continued to date Cassie. He said that he did continue to receive text messages from Diddy saying that he wanted to talk about Kid Cudi's and Cassie's relationship, but he declined after the break-in. In January of 2012, he got a call from his dog watcher saying that his Porsche was on fire. Sent him a picture of his car on fire. The jury did see photos of the car and the damage that the fire caused. The investigation concluded that there was a Molotov cocktail that had been thrown into the roof of the car, and that is what started the fire. I would say that we always heard the story that the car blew up, but it seems that car was on fire, even though, not to say that's not as bad, but you know, the car getting blown up seems to be a lot more sensationalized than what the truth is, that it was something thrown into the car and it was caught on fire. He testified that after this incident, he did reach out to Diddy because he felt like things had gone too far to have a face-to-face meeting with him, which he did have. He said Diddy was calm throughout this interaction. He directly asked him about his car, and Diddy said he didn't know anything about that. He also said he ran into Diddy some years later in 2015, and Diddy apologized to him about what he said the entire incident and all the bullshit. So he never specifically said that he was apologizing for what happened to his car. On the cross-examination, Diddy's attorneys pointed out that during the investigation, some DNA was collected from the car, and it was confirmed that it was a woman. When asked about this, Cudi said that he had not received any details of that follow-up investigation, so he cannot confirm or deny that. They also asked Kid Cudi if he felt like Cassie had played him, and he said yes. He also asked, if he felt as if Cassie played Diddy and Cudi, and he said yes, which I found was interesting because what does that have to do with? I didn't get the points. Besides just trying to tarnish Cassie's reputation that she was dating somebody else while she was still involved with Diddy. But did they really have a true relationship? The defense driving home this point that Cassie played Diddy and Kid Cudi, I didn't quite get the point, besides just tarnishing her reputation, just to say maybe she was dating both of them at the same time, that she didn't tell Kid Cudi the full extent of her and Diddy. She did confide to Kid Cudi that Diddy was violent with her, that she did experience physical abuse, but she did not discuss any details of any sexual abuse. During his cross-examination, he did confirm that there was no damage to his home from the break-in, and that Diddy did not threaten him when they met in person. The prosecution did redirect Kid Cudi, asking him whether or not he believed Diddy when he said he had nothing to do with his car, and Kid Cudi said no, he thought he was lying. So I do feel like this point was not driven home, that Diddy actually caused this damage. There was no direct evidence presented through Kid Cudi's testimony or any evidence presented that Diddy was responsible for the break-in or for the fire that damaged or that completely burned down his car. So I don't think that this was a strong witness. It did not have the impact that I thought it would have. I thought he really did have some direct testimony, like Diddy had admitted it to him. There was some evidence that Diddy was involved in these two crimes. But other than that, it's just still speculation. This is what Kid Cudi thinks, but there's no evidence to prove it. So that wraps up Kid Cudi's testimony. The jury is off for the weekend, so we'll be back next week to see what else the prosecution has to offer. So we are all off for the weekend. We all need a break from everything that's going on in this case, and we still have at least 6 more weeks to go. So until next time.